Venerable Luang Phor Jarun presents this report on the occasion of the opening of the Bunthin Athakon building, a sanctuary for monks and teachers. Wat Amphawan is not merely a modern temple, but a sacred site dating back to the Ayutthaya period. The proof of its ancient roots lies within its walls. Sacred Pali Canon cabinets gifted to the temple in 1657 and 1767, decorated with exquisite Ramayana designs. During the restoration of the collapsed ruins, we discovered engraved stones, ancient blue pattern chinaware, jade bracelets, and buckets of ancient Chinese coins, relics of a time when Chinese and Dutch merchants sailed the Chao Phraya River to trade with King Narai the Great. Image: ancient Thai temple ruins with golden artifacts and artifacts. When I arrived as the acting abbot in 1956, the temple was in ruins. We rebuilt it with a vision of simplicity and resourcefulness, using the ancient pillars as the heart of the new structure. In a departure from tradition, we chose not to build a stone fence. Instead, we allowed the trees to serve as a natural boundary, creating a space that is clean, roomy, and open to all. The transformation of Wat Amphawan, however, was not just physical. We began a spiritual revolution through Vipassana Meditation, the refinement of the mind. As the villagers practiced, their lives improved, their education rose, and a spirit of kindness and unity flourished. Over the past 4 years, we have trained over 200,000 people, including lay people, monks, and novices. Our philosophy in the meditation quarters remains strict and focused. Eat little, sleep little, speak little, but practice hard. Today, we dedicate the Bunthin Athakon building. This 3-story sanctuary was built to provide comfort and safety for visiting monks and lecturers, ensuring they can perform their duties with dignity and efficiency. It is my hope that every trainee who enters these grounds develops the self-esteem and mental strength needed to face the world. I have devoted my life to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. My oath is to perform activities that bring happiness and healing to all people, offering them the Dhamma, a gift that is like celestial food for the soul. In the presence of the Sangha, we honor the history of Wat Amphawan. Since the Ayutthaya period, this temple has been a sanctuary for Vipassana, or the refinement of the mind. To understand the Buddhist path, we must look at the 3 good laws, which can be compared to a great tree. 1. The roots, study. This is the foundation, learning the Buddha's teachings. 2. The stem, practice. This is the act of meditation and living according to the Dhamma. 3. The fruit, realization. This is the direct result, the peace, wisdom, and happiness that arise as soon as practice begins. The journey of the mind is like climbing a mountain. We start at the foot, ascending step by step. Some, with quick intuition, may ascend rapidly, like riding a cable car, while others climb slowly. Yet, all must pass through each stage. As we climb, we lift our minds from states of loss and woe, anger, greed, and delusion, toward higher states of compassion and purity. To reach the peak, the supramundane, we must master the threefold training: morality, sila, pure conduct; concentration, samadhi, a stable, focused mind; wisdom, panignana, the ultimate insight into the nature of reality. The Buddha taught that we must know when to cling and when to abandon. Like climbing a ladder, you must hold one rung to rest, but you must let go of the lower rung to reach the higher one. We abandon evil to cling to goodness, but eventually, we even let go of elementary goodness to reach the final goal. The Dhamma has many facets, but like the waters of the ocean, it has only one taste, the taste of liberation. Every time you meditate, you taste this freedom from suffering. We express our deepest gratitude to the sponsors of the Bunthin Athakon building. By providing lodging for monks and practitioners, you ensure that the seeds of Dhamma continue to grow, allowing countless others to taste the fruit of peace and reach the summit of wisdom. In 1957, Luang Phor Jarun faced a great challenge as the new abbot of Wat Amphawan. The temple was poor, remote, and lacked a kitchen to feed the growing number of monks and visitors. With only 3,000 baht, Luang Phor decided to buy an old, abandoned Thai-style house to dismantle and move to the temple grounds. When he first inspected the house, a strange phenomenon occurred. The building began to shake violently, though there was no wind. Sensing a spiritual presence, Luang Phor radiated loving kindness and made a bold announcement: "Whoever is living here, do not suffer in the world of spirits. Follow me to Wat Amphawan. Help me build this kitchen, and you shall practice Vipassana meditation to find your own liberation." Immediately, the shaking stopped. The house was moved, and a new kitchen was built within a single day. Soon the temple personnel noticed something strange. A cook named Mrs. Bunchu was possessed by a spirit who identified herself as Galong. The spirit scolded the workers for stealing temple supplies like onions, garlic, and pork. She warned them that such greed would turn them into hungry ghosts after death. Galong revealed that she had died in the house with a mind attached to jealousy and material belongings. However, by accepting Luang Phor's invitation, she began to practice meditation in her spirit form. As her mind became refined, her appearance changed from a suffering ghost to a beautiful, radiant being with long hair and dark skin. Mrs. Galong became the invisible guardian of Wat Amphawan. There were many witnesses. Temple volunteers saw her practicing meditation in the halls, and government auditors once reported being served a delicious dinner by a mysterious, graceful woman when all the human staff were away. Luang Phor Jarun uses this story to prove that the mind can be refined even after death. He teaches that greed leads to the realm of hungry ghosts. Hatred leads to the hell realms. Delusion leads to the animal realm. By maintaining mindfulness through the 4 foundations of mindfulness, we can escape these unwholesome states. Mrs. Galong's journey from a suffering spirit to a guardian angel proves that the Dhamma is a universal science of the soul, available to all beings who seek the light of wisdom. In October 1983, a profound event occurred at Wat Amphawan that forever changed the perspective of those present. It began with the arrival of a young man named Wirot Panjaburi. Wirot was an exceptional student and an aspiring instructor from Chiang Rai who had developed a deep passion for Vipassana meditation during a previous retreat. Image: a bright, athletic young Thai man in a white meditation outfit, smiling with a sense of peace. Wirot was scheduled to assist with a new meditation course starting on October 21st. However, 5 days before the course began, Wirot and his girlfriend, Kunlaya, were involved in a fatal motorcycle accident. Wirot died instantly. Yet, on the evening of October 16th, Luang Phor Jarun was sitting in the temple auditorium when Wirot walked in, carrying 2 bags. He bowed and greeted the abbot. When Luang Phor asked why he had arrived so early, Wirot calmly replied, "I am dead." Image: a serene Buddhist temple interior at dusk, a monk seated in a chair, and a young man with 2 bags standing before him, slightly ethereal lighting. 2 monks, sweeping nearby, were terrified, but Luang Phor remained calm. Wirot explained that because he had practiced mindfulness, his awareness did not vanish at the moment of impact. He had stepped out of his broken body and watched his own funeral preparations. Driven by his vow to attend the retreat, his spirit traveled instantly to Wat Amphawan. Wirot provided undeniable proof of his spiritual state. 1. Levitation. As he walked away to find a room, witnesses noticed his feet were floating an inch above the ground. 2. The prediction. He warned Luang Phor that the student group from Chiang Rai would arrive late at 11 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. because they would stop to tour the Bhumibol Dam. His prediction was exactly correct. 3. The confirmation. When the group finally arrived, their instructor, Somdej Mungmuang, was moved to tears. He confirmed that Wirot had indeed died 5 days prior. Luang Phor Jarun explains that Wirot was not a wandering ghost, Sambhavesi. Because he died with a mind anchored in mindfulness and merit, he was not bound to his coffin or the site of the accident. He was a reporting spirit, using his final moments of worldly energy to fulfill his spiritual duties. Image: a spiritual map showing a soul rising above a physical body, connected by a thread of light, with the temple in the background. This story, supported by written letters from instructor Somdej, teaches us that time in the human world is precious. Wirot's spirit lamented that even as a ghost, he hungered for the meditation that many living humans ignore. His journey proves that heaven and hell are not distant places in the sky or ground, but states of mind that exist among us. Through the 4 foundations of mindfulness, we prepare ourselves for the ultimate journey, ensuring that when the body fails, the spirit remains clear, purposeful, and free. Luang Phor Jarun teaches that through the consistent practice of noting, acknowledging every sight and sound as perceiving, a practitioner develops a wisdom eye. This insight allows one to see the nimitta, a sign that foretells real events or reveals the law of cause and effect. In January 1975, Luang Phor was invited to the Rose Garden by its owners, Dr. Chumnan and Kunyingwali Yuabun. During a meeting with their sons, a chilling vision appeared. As Luang Phor noted, perceiving, Perceiving, he saw a headless image overlapping the body of the youngest son, Palor. Then, a radiant divine being appeared, holding a sword and flowers, and spoke directly to Luang Phor. "I have come to pick up my son. I sent him to bring prosperity to this family for 20 years, and now his time is up. I will take him back tonight at 1 a.m. While the family remained unaware, Luang Phor knew the boy was destined to die. He quickly ordered his students to pack their bags and prepare to leave the garden that very night. Before departing, he delivered a sermon. Though the mother had asked for a talk on unity, Luang Phor, knowing the tragedy ahead, preached instead on the perseverance of parents and the gratitude children owe to them, essentially delivering a funeral sermon while the boy was still alive. Payor, who had lived most of his life abroad and never attended a Buddhist temple, was deeply moved. He collected donations from the staff and told his family, "This is the first and last time I will ever listen to a monk." At 1 a.m., exactly as the vision foretold, Payor was killed in a violent car accident. His older brother, Joe, was left in a coma with a shattered skull. Luang Phor later visited the grieving parents and gave them a spiritual prescription for Joe's survival. 1. Abandon politics. Dr. Chumnan was told to quit his political ambitions immediately. 2. The power of chanting. The parents were instructed to recite the virtues of the Buddha, Itipiso, as many times as their age plus 1 every day. The parents followed the instructions with total faith. Miraculously, Joe recovered, and the conflicts within the rose garden vanished as the family's mind became refined through meditation. Luang Phor Jarun uses this tragic event to remind us that the law of karma informs us at every moment, but we are too busy to listen. By practicing mindfulness in every action, from picking up a teacup to hearing a sound, we accumulate spiritual credits. This awareness becomes a guardian, allowing us to navigate the invisible forces of destiny with clarity and peace. Luang Phor Jarun begins by explaining that while many religions believe the soul is immortal, Buddhism teaches that the mind, citta, is a continuous stream that arises and ceases every moment. He introduces the concept of the Bhavanga mind, the life continuum. Like a tape recorder, the mind records every action and intention. When we are awake, we receive information through our senses. When we sleep or die, the mind stays in the Bhavanga state, carrying the recorded data of our karma into the next life. To illustrate this, Luang Phor shares the miraculous story of Mrs. Pongsri Chatasupon, the wife of the sheriff of Lopburi. Mrs. Pongsri was a woman of great merit who had dedicated years to serving Wat Amphawan. Image: a peaceful Buddhist woman dressed in pure white, radiating a soft light, kneeling in prayer. On the night of January 28, 1973, at 10:17 p.m., Luang Phor saw Mrs. Pongsri drive into the temple alone. She was dressed in a glistening white blouse and sarong. She crawled toward him, presented a flower garland, and spoke with a calm, sad dignity. "My suffering is now finished. I have come to say goodbye. I am going to make merit, and I must visit my son to fulfill a promise." She was concerned about a religious ceremony she had invited Luang Phor to attend months later. She warned him that since she, the cook, would not be there, he should check with her husband before traveling. After paying her respects, she stood up, walked to her car, and drove away. Then came the miracle. When Luang Phor looked out, the car was gone. The flower garland had vanished. He noted the exact time of the encounter. 3 days later, he received a letter confirming that Mrs. Pongsri had actually passed away in the hospital at the exact moment she appeared to him at the temple. Image: the transition of a soul, a glowing figure leaving a physical body, moving toward a distant light of peace. Luang Phor explains that Mrs. Pongsri was able to do this because her mind was anchored in merit, boon. Even as she was dying, she was thinking of serving the monks. His teaching is clear. The mind is faster than light. If you die with a mind of greed, you become a hungry ghost. If you die with a mind of hatred, you descend into hell. But if you die with a mind of merit and mindfulness, you find a heavenly existence. Merit is a treasure that belongs only to you, Luang Phor reminds us. A thief cannot steal it, and a wise man performs good deeds so they may follow him to the next existence. Luang Phor Jarun defines Vipassana not just as meditation, but as the refinement of the mind. He teaches that our daily jobs are our life work, and mindfulness is the tool that prevents mistakes and reveals the truth of existence. The foundation: standing and walking. The practice begins with the standing posture. Luang Phor emphasizes a specific 5-cycle method. The technique. Close your eyes. Place your right hand over your left on your lower back to keep the spine straight. The cycle. Mentally move your awareness from the crown of your head to your toes, noting stand at the crown and aing at the toes. Repeat this 5 times. The result. This creates an inner image of the body. Once mastered, this 5-cycle scan allows you to read the character and intentions of others just by looking at them from head to toe. Walking meditation follows. Move slowly, the slower, the better. Note, right step and left step. This isn't just walking, it is observing how one mind state ceases and a new one arises with every movement. Sitting meditation. The rising and falling. Once the mind is calmed by walking, move to sitting. Focus on the abdomen. Inhale, the abdomen expands. Note, rising. Exhale, the abdomen contracts. Note, falling. Luang Phor compares the mind to a fluorescent bulb. It appears to shine constantly, but it is actually flashing on and off with incredible speed. By noting the breath, you begin to see these individual flashes of consciousness. Overcoming the teachers. During meditation, you will face Vedana, pain or sensations. Luang Phor calls these teachers. Pain. Do not move. Note, pain. Pain at the source. Wandering mind. If the mind drifts to the past or future, stop the breath noting and acknowledge thinking at the solar plexus. The goal. By observing pain and thought without reacting, you realize they are impermanent. You learn that there is no self, only a flow of mentality and materiality. Mindfulness in everything. Luang Phor's most vital instruction is continuous noting. Mindfulness must not stop when you leave the cushion. Note, opening the door. Note, chewing and swallowing your food. Even in sleep, continue to note the rising and falling of the abdomen. This leads to mindful sleep, where you remain aware of every turn of the body and can wake up at a precise moment without an alarm. The gift of peace. The ultimate result of this practice is defunct karma. By refining the mind, you develop the power to forgive and radiate loving kindness, metta, to all beings. This psychic telegraph dissolves old grudges and creates a life of prosperity and serenity. The highest happiness in this world is peace, Luang Phor concludes. This meditation is the Buddha's gift to help us navigate life with the wisdom eye. Luang Phor Jarun begins with a powerful personal reflection. Despite being severely ill and against his doctor's orders, he continues to teach, using his own sickness as a meditation subject. He teaches that when we encounter pain during meditation, we must not flee from it. The wall of suffering. When you sit for an hour, the last 15 minutes are often filled with intense agony, as if your bones are bursting or your skin is stinging. Most people want to note and change their posture. Luang Phor warns against this. The technique. Set your mind to fight. Acknowledge the pain by noting, feeling pain, with all your heart. The breakthrough. You must be willing to die in that seat. If you persist, the pain will eventually reach a peak and then break or flash and disappear. Floating against the tide. To illustrate the necessity of persistence, Luang Phor recalls the night of the Buddha's enlightenment. Before he became the Buddha, Prince Siddhartha placed his golden food tray in the river and made a vow. If I am to reach enlightenment, let this tray float against the tide. The tray moved upstream, signifying that the path to truth requires going against our natural desires for comfort and ease. To understand the Dhamma, you must persist against your own will. If you give up when you face Vedana, you will never know the core of suffering. The science of the soul. Luang Phor explains that during his own near-fatal car accident, where his neck was broken, he did not suffer because he knew how to diversify Vedana. He practiced breathing through his navel, noting the rising and falling of the abdomen while his body was paralyzed. He explains that at high levels of meditation, the body can even exchange oxygen through the pores and blood vessels. The fruits of persistence. Once you pass through the fire of Vedana, 3 truths become clear. 1. Anicca, impermanence. The pain that felt solid suddenly dissolves. 2. Dukkha, suffering. You realize that attachment to the body is the source of agony. 3. Anatta, non-self. You see that the pain is just a process. There is no you owning the pain. Conclusion. The present moment. Vipassana is the only path that allows you to understand the law of karma. By concentrating solely on the present moment, ignoring the past, and not worrying about the future, you refine the mind until it becomes a mirror of wisdom. The highest happiness in this world is peace, Luang Phor reminds us. Through the supreme way of mindfulness, we transform our suffering into the light of liberation. Luang Phor Jarun recounts the life of Mrs. Lamai, a woman who was completely illiterate. When she first tried to practice Vipassana, she struggled. She couldn't distinguish her left foot from her right, nor could she follow the rhythm of her breath. To help her, Luang Phor suggested a different entry point: chanting. Because she couldn't read, she memorized the virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, word by word from her children. This chanting became her meditation. Through constant repetition, her mindfulness became so sharp that she eventually mastered walking and sitting meditation with ease. The intuitive power of mindfulness. Mrs. Lamai's practice developed into a form of knowing. When she suspected her husband of misconduct, she chanted the virtues of the Buddha 108 times and sat in deep meditation. Her refined mind revealed the truth. She saw exactly where her husband had gone, who he had met, and even the exact amount of money he had given away. This wasn't magic. It was the result of a mind so still it could perceive the truth of cause and effect. The 3-year vow. When Mrs. Lamai was diagnosed with terminal colon cancer, doctors gave her only 1 month to live. However, she made a spiritual determination. She would not die until all her children had graduated and found success. She used mindfulness to manage the Vedana, agony of the cancer. But the story takes a miraculous turn with 2 karmic helpers. The bees. A swarm of bees built a hive at her house. She asked them for help, and miraculously they licked her abdomen to draw out toxins. The cobra. In her 2nd year, a cobra coiled around her and licked her abdomen, sacrificing its own life to extend hers. Through these mysterious events and her own meditation, she survived for 3 years instead of 1 month. Mastering the final hour. Mrs. Lamai knew exactly when she was going to die. In her final month, she visited Wat Amphawan to personally arrange her own funeral, saving her family from the burden. On her deathbed, she didn't complain of pain. Instead, she spent her final hours teaching her children how to practice Vipassana. Even after death, her mindfulness remained. When her daughter forgot to place an ancient coin in her mouth as requested, the daughter fainted and heard her mother's voice reminding her of the promise. Luang Phor Jarun concludes that Mrs. Lamai is the ultimate proof that anyone can practice. You do not need a degree, you only need the 4 foundations of mindfulness. By observing the body, feelings, mind, and Dhamma, Mrs. Lamai transformed a terminal illness into a 3-year masterclass in spiritual power. Luang Phor Jarun recounts the story of Mr. Krai, a warehouse manager trapped between his loyalty to a corrupt boss and his duty to his country. Unable to find a way out, Krai fled to a hotel in Lopburi, intending to end his life with poison. The sudden light. At 1 a.m., just as Krai was about to drink the poison, the dim light in his room suddenly brightened. This startling moment broke his depressive trance. He regained his mindfulness and realized that if he died now, he would cause his family eternal suffering. Instead of ending his life, he decided to find a place to seek spiritual refuge. The chain of coincidences. Through a series of mysterious events, a truck breaking down at exactly the right spot, and a storekeeper who knew Luang Phor Krai arrived at Wat Amphawan. Luang Phor immediately saw through his alias and told him, "You must fight for yourself. Practice Vipassana for 7 days, maintain the 8 precepts, and radiate loving kindness to your enemies and your investigators." The psychic telegraph. Krai practiced with total desperation. On the 6th day, the psychic telegraph of his metta, loving kindness, reached his headquarters in Bangkok. The big boss suddenly felt a sense of sympathy and issued a telegram for Krai to report to him. At the same time, Krai's uncle, a monk who had practiced Vipassana for 15 years, used his own mindfulness to track Krai. In an incredible series of coincidences, the uncle's truck broke down at the same convenience store 7 days later, leading him directly to his missing nephew. The result: a new life. The crisis was resolved. Because of the good attitude Krai had projected through his meditation, his bosses understood his integrity. He kept his job, his family remained intact, and he returned to the world with a new purpose. As a gesture of gratitude, he donated a kerosene lamp to the temple, saying, "I receive light from you, now I return the favor." Conclusion: the difference between peace and wisdom. Luang Phor Jarun ends this book with a vital distinction. Tranquility meditation, samatha, gives you peace, but vipassana, insight, gives you the wisdom to solve life's impossible problems. It is the only path that allows you to radiate a power so strong it can change the minds of others and settle the debts of the past. Luang Phor Jarun is famous for building over 300 clean, accessible toilets at Wat Amphawan. He shares a personal and light-hearted story from a trip to Sri Lanka to prove that the merit from such humble acts of service can literally save a person in a crisis. The crisis in the national park. While attending a World Buddhist meeting in Sri Lanka, Luang Phor found himself at a national park after a breakfast of greasy roti and butter. Suddenly, he was struck by an urgent, painful need for a restroom. His guides were too busy following the group to help, and he found himself alone, red-faced, and perspiring in a park full of tourists. The vow of the desperate monk. In a moment of pure human desperation, Luang Phor began to pray. He reflected on the thousands of toilets he had funded and built throughout his life. He made a bold declaration to the divine beings. If there is any merit in the toilets I have built, please send me a toilet now. If I am forced to ruin my robes here, when I return to Wat Amphawan, I will destroy every toilet I ever built. Image. A humorous but respectful depiction of a monk in a lush park, looking distressed and praying fervently. The divine answer. Across the street, a wealthy Buddhist couple felt a strange urge to look toward the park. Using binoculars, the husband recognized Luang Phor from the earlier conference. Seeing his distress, the couple rushed to him and invited him to their home. He was led to a luxurious, air-conditioned restroom. It was a moment of total relief, what Luang Phor calls the divine being sending a toilet, not by dropping one from the sky, but by moving the hearts of others through the power of his past merit. The three vehicles of success. Following this experience, Luang Phor offers a powerful metaphor for the Buddhist path. Charity. Giving, like traveling in a rowboat, it is slow but gets you there. Precepts. Morality. Like traveling by motorboat, it is faster and more reliable. Meditation. Mindfulness. Like traveling by airplane, it is the fastest way to reach the destination of wisdom and enlightenment. Image. A diagram showing a rowboat, a motorboat, and an airplane, each labeled with the corresponding Buddhist practice. Conclusion. Luang Phor Jarun concludes Book 1 by encouraging all practitioners to continue their credit accumulation. Whether it is through building toilets or sitting in silence, every act of goodness builds the spiritual reservoir that supports us when we face the challenges of life and the emergencies of the body.